Good day, everyone. I am Damaolao, and I will be your pre-service teacher for today's lesson. And also, I would like to acknowledge our instructor, Mr. Hubert Tagpa, for giving me this opportunity to conduct our virtual demonstration. So for today's lesson under TTL1, I will be discussing the uses of ICT in teaching and learning in basic education under the Unit 3. So since we are currently in a virtual learning environment, we are actually experiencing one of the many ways to technology that can be used in education. But beyond simply using technology to connect with one another, how can ICT truly enhance teaching and learning? That is what are we going to explore in our lesson today. So I encourage everyone to participate, share your ideas, and stay engaged throughout our discussion. Once again, good day, everyone, and let's begin our lesson. But first, let us have our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, you will able to, number one, is to describe the implementation of ICT policies in teaching and learning processes. Number two is to match the ICT policies that are incorporated to design and implementation of teaching and learning activities. The key to a successful implementation of ICT in education is careful planning and teachers' empowerment towards ICT use. With that, the DepEd has an ICT 4E program that will cater these opportunities for development. So ICT 4E, or Information and Communication Technology for Education, is the use of technology to improve and enhance our teaching and learning. For example, a laptop, projector, cell phone, and also internet connections are ICT tools that teacher can use to make lessons more interactive and accessible. So the key to success in ICT implementation in education is careful planning and teacher empowerment. So this means that school must carefully choose and plan how technology will be used to support learning, while teachers must be provided with the necessary knowledge, skills, training, and resources to use ICT effectively. So by this connection, the DepEd ICT 4E that will provide opportunities for the development of teachers, not just by the teachers, but also our beloved learners in using our technology for education. So therefore, the goal is not simply to have technology in school, but to ensure that it is um, have an effectively used to improve the teaching and the learning. Digital culture and digital literacy. It is a skill of searching for and producing information through the use of media and for society. This resulted to a digital culture that impacts the construction and distribution of information and power around the world. So it is simply means it is the ability to search for, understand, and evaluate information using the digital media. As people increasingly use digital technologies to communicate and share information, these create a digital culture that influences how information was created, distributed, accessed, and how knowledge and power are shared around the world. Number one is one laptop per child. This approach aims to provide one laptop for every learner so that each student has a direct access to technology for learning. However, developing countries like the Philippines may face challenges in providing a laptop for every child because of the cost and resources required. Instead, school may establish computer laboratories where learners can share and access computers for educational activities. This allows students to develop their computer skills even without having an individual laptop. Number two is tablets. Tablets are small, portable computers that learners can use anytime and anywhere for educational purposes. They allow students to access learning applications, explore digital resources, and participate in interactive activities. However, based on the module, providing tablets to learners is still difficult for many Philippine public schools, while some private schools such as De La Salle School or Ateneo have required them for their students. Number three is e-readers. E-readers are electronic devices that can store many books and digital files, making references easier to access, use, and share. Although the module starts or states that e-readers are not freely provided to learners or other storage devices such as flash drives that can be used to store and share learning materials in class. Number four is flipped classroom. A flipped classroom is a learning model that where learners explore or study the lesson at home, first using the online resources, then use classroom time to discuss, practice, and deepen their understanding with a teacher. In the Philippine setting, this can be done through social media and other online resources. However, it may be difficult to use as the main method of instruction because not all learners have reliable internet connection. Number five is ICT teacher professional development. So the use of ICT in teaching, assessment, learning resources, and learner interaction depends on the teacher's ability to use technology effectively. To support these, DepEd provides trainings, seminars, and workshops that helps teachers develop ICT skills that are related to their fields and specialization. Similar training is also provided to supervisors and future educators that can help um, their future career to create and maintain an ICT enhanced learning environment. Number six is ensuring benefits of ICT investment. To make sure that investment in ICT truly benefits the learners, school needs to provide ICT infrastructure, stable and affordable internet connectivity. Teachers also need to develop their ICT skills, teaching strategies, and ability to use technology in their specific discipline. This helps them implement the curriculum effectively while incorporating the local culture and context into learning. According to the module, DepEd supports this by improving internet connections in communities and contextualizing lessons content to better support to the learners. Number seven is resource constrained context. So the Philippine public schools may have difficulty requiring learners to bring their own laptops. But because of limited resources, but to address these challenges, DepEd has improved technical support and ICT infrastructure, also including monitoring computer software, adding addressing electrical problems. These efforts help schools maximize the use of ICT despite of their limited resources. Last, we have interactive whiteboards or smart boards. These are digital boards that allow teachers and learners to display, move, copy, and manipulate image and information. They also make it easier to write, projected content, share ideas, and conduct interactive activities. However, according to the module, only a few schools or public schools use in interactive whiteboards for classroom discussion. Now let us go to ICT in education. ICT in education improves the performance of both learners and teachers by making lessons more interactive, engaging, and efficient. So ICT affects the students not only inside the classroom, but also in a way they handle everyday academic responsibilities. Example, imagine that you are given a group research project and your members cannot meet personally because everyone has different schedule. So instead of waiting that until you can meet them, you can use Messenger or other communication platform to discuss the task. Last, we have SHAMO. SHAMO stands for Southeast Asian Minister of Education Organization. They highlighted how technology enhanced lessons in the Philippines, including the use of Intel Classmates thesis. That improved learners' comprehension and achievement while also improving teachers' performance. Now that we are done with our discussion, let me give you some verse. This verse came from the Corinthians chapter verse 7. Let all that you do be done in love. So this verse reminds us that every action we take, whether studying, teaching, helping others, or making decisions, should be guided by love, kindness, and genuine concerns for others. So in education, it encourages teachers to teach with compassion, and students should learn. So that's all for my discussion for today. I hope you learned something from me, and thank you for listening.